everybody. Welcome back to another hot episode of a very special podcast. This is the podcast which talk about all your favorite TV series from yesteryear. Oh, yeah. And then we discussed it over a glass of spiked coffee. And I'm your host, Patrick M. Dunn, and I'm joined here as always for the 200th time, my right-hand woman, Cat Halstead, the author, Ooga.
Oh my god, you said woman instead of woman. Oh my god, I'm so happy right now.
You know what? I thought it's up 200. I thought I'd give it to you.
Oh my god.
Nice and easy this week.
Yeah.
Don't want any eye rolls for episode 200. We've already had 199 of them. I don't know if I can handle another. Yeah, everybody, welcome back to the pod. Great times. Great to be here, Kat, as always. How you doing?
I'm just fabulous.
How you been handling the summer doldrums?
I mean, to be fair, I'm technically in self-isolation right now.
Ooh, yeah, she's self-isolating over there. Her BF has the COVID or has the COVID. What's the scoop?
We took tests. We're waiting for the results.
Ooh.
Mild symptoms presented, but because the symptoms are so, basic.
Can I get sick through the Google Hangout call that we're on? Could it pass through the airwaves?
No.
I don't know. Isn't that the latest conspiracy that all these 5G waves can make the virus travel harder and faster and stronger?
That's been a conspiracy theory for months, Patrick.
Hasn't been disproved or proved, so we're waiting on our bated breath. All right. Fun fact, I've been listening to I've been going through our older episodes, just trying to see what things were like in the early days.
Yeah.
All right. You want to talk about episode 1? You want to talk for a quick second about episode 1?
Yeah, let's talk about episode 1, Turkeys Away, WKRP.
Oh, hold on. Someone also wants to talk about it too. They're calling up Cat Halstead. They want to talk about Turkeys Away with us.
Oh my god, okay, the house phone stopped ringing.
All right, episode 1. 7 minutes in. Literally 7 minutes into the episode. If they have Wi-Fi in Vietnam.
Why is that a question?
I was just I just wanted to go back in time and punch myself. Kick myself in the jimmies. And then, hold on, it gets worse. Episode 2, I am convinced that they no longer manufacture bread boxes. Bread boxes gone out of business. They no longer cease to exist.
I'm pretty sure I could go on Amazon right now.
Are you looking it up?
And order a bread box.
All right, well, tell me they still exist, because you know what? We couldn't find them in 2013 or 14, whatever year it was.
Yeah, if you want to spend $60.
For a fucking bread box?
Yeah.
Does it plug in? Does it make toast? Does it bake the bread?
No, it's just a wood box. You can get a bamboo one for $24.99 though.
Are you sure you're not on goop.com by accident?
It's Amazon.
I know. All right. Ooh, look at that double-decker one. Holy shit, that thing's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's the $60 one.
You know what? Maybe that could be a Patreon trinket. You can get an AVSP bread box.
Are you high right now?
I wish. No, but no.
You can get a stainless steel one for $24.99.
Ooh, very modern. Very modern, Cat Halstead, the author. Enough about bread box. We're not. This isn't Cat's Bacon with Cat side pod that she puts on YouTube every other Thursday. We're here to get down to business. We're here to get down and dirty. We're here to talk about probably one of the greatest television series of all time, or top tier at least. A show that is still on today, still on the airwaves, and it's 500th season. A show that you and I still watch, right? We still occasionally dabble in it.
I haven't sat down on a Sunday night to watch it in quite a while, but I pull it up on Disney Plus quite a bit, so does the boyfriend.
Do you watch newer ones, or you just go back to the oldies but goodies?
Kind of go back to the old ones for the most part.
Which is what we did tonight. We went back to season 4, which I think is the greatest season of television ever for any show.
Oh, it's such a good season. I was looking at all the episodes for this season, hot damn.
Yeah, hot dog on a bun. 2 buns with a lot of mustard and relish and, I don't know, beans on the side. That's how great this season is. We got Conan O'Brien still, involved in this universe. Some great guest stars. We got some great apps. What are we doing?
Yes.
We've teased the audience for so long.
We're doing the one, the only, The Simpsons. This is our third go-around with The Simpsons?
Yeah, baby. We did the summer of Lisa, and then we did a Halloween one.
It was the summer of
Foot 2.
I think it's the same season. I don't know. I don't remember.
No, that's a few years later. That was the same year as Homer Palooza.
Okay.
Which is at least 4 seasons later.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
All right. What episode are we doing, Cat Halstead?
Selma's Choice.
Yes, episode 13. Otherwise known as what? What is this episode also known as?
The one with DUFF Gardens.
Yes, we promised you a theme park related episode, and we're delivering to you the time the Simpsons went to DUFF Gardens, the greatest, shittiest theme park in the world.
Something like that.
We'll get to it.
It's a wild theme park. I don't know, like, what theme park today you would compare it to, you know?
Well, I think it was originally like a play on Busch Gardens.
Oh, yeah. I could totally see that.
I did kind of like dip through some of the unusual theme parks around the world. Do you want a quick run through them?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. We got Sanrio Puroland in Japan. This is the land for... It's basically like a Hello Kitty theme park.
I saw about that on that Netflix show, The Toys That Made Us.
Oh, really? There's an episode about that?
There's a whole episode about Hello Kitty.
Ooh, Ooga. France also has a wine-related theme park.
Okay.
Basically, it's a museum/theme park. It's got interactive boat rides, and of course, wine tasting. Ooh, God. You know what? Sign me up. You can also go to the Rush Mountain Adventure Park, located close to Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
And you get to actually go through a real cave. You get to, like, put on a headlamp and look at stalagmites and stalactites and whatever they're called.
Okay.
But hold on. This is my favorite one. This is my favorite. You ready? You sitting down for this one?
I'm as ready as I can be.
All right, it's in Denmark. It's in the jolly old land of Denmark. It's a place that Peg Bundy would probably go to. Bon Bon Land. Oh, yeah. If you've got a sweet tooth, this park is for you. It's got mini candy factories, candy-themed attractions, and I guess it's got adult-themed pleasantries also in the area. So, you know, it's not just for the kids. Not just for them kids.
Oh, Peg was definitely going there.
Oh, yeah, she's going to be there. And you know what? If Married Children was still on, they'd be like, we're going to Denmark type episode. What do you think?
Oh, my God.
All right, out of those few theme parks, would you go visit them all? Do you think you go visit them?
No, I might go to, like, the Mount Rushmore one. If I go to Mount Rushmore, like...
Ooh, yeah.
During the summer.
Kat's going exploring. She's going to go splunkering. Is that what it's called? Splunkering?
Yeah, I believe that's what it's called.
Great times. You know what? I can't wait for the Kat's Instagram video stories of her, like, underground with, like, bats flying over her, trying to dodge guano. Is guano? Is that like bat poop? Dude,
I'd probably be having a panic attack and not making Instagram videos.
You know what you'd start too? They'd be like, you outside with your little like hard hat on with a big smile on your face. Then there's like you when you first get in, like, I'm going in! And then it's like 5 minutes later, you're fucking just screaming the whole time. You're like, nope, not putting these pictures up. It's you walking out like, that was the worst time of my life ever. I had to walk through a cave. I don't know, my little, like, headlamp light went out. It was dark. We had to, like, crawl our way out. I got wet.
Oh, my gosh.
I saw those, like, I got to see some of those fish that, like, don't have any color. They're just all white. You ever see those, like, in, like, 8th grade science books?
I don't remember 8th grade science, though.
What were you doing?
I don't remember what
Doodling I Heart Devin Sawa on your notebook cover?
Probably Jonathan Jackson.
Ooh, that was a JJ era?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, if you say so. All right. Do you think we need to recreate January 21st, 1993? Do you think we need to take a trip down to memory lane?
Let's talk about January 21st, 1993.
All right, where were you? What were you doing that day? What was little Kat Halstead doing? She was in the 5th grade. I already did the math, so you don't have to do the math. We know about cat math. We already know about cat math.
Oh, it's 5th grade. Probably went to school that day. Unless I was homesick, but I'm pretty sure I went to school that day. Or we had a snow day.
No, I remember being in school the next day after this episode aired. I remember talking about it with my chums, so I don't think at least where I was. I don't know about you. You were in...
There's a good enough distance that it could be different, but
You were a whole 4 hours.
I was probably at school the next day. Just being a 5th grader, obsessed with, like, Swan's Crossing and Beverly Hills 90210.
Yeah, looking at your Tiger Beat, looking at pictures of, I don't know, Menudo, like the 90s Menudo.
No. You're making me sound like it's the 80s, you asshole.
Yeah, but there was still Menudo in the 90s.
Yeah, but they weren't, like, in Tiger Beat.
But how about Boys to Men?
Tiger Beat was Joey Lawrence, Luke Perry, Jason Priestley.
Okay. Who was like your favorite?
Mark Paul Gosselaar, Mario Lopez.
Who was your favorite? What was your favorite musical act? What was like young Kat Halstead listening to at this point in time?
In 5th grade, I wasn't allowed to watch MTV yet, so I was listening to like oldie stuff.
You listened to like Leader of the Pack?
You know what it is? It was probably like Amy Grant.
Oh, yeah.
I have lots to listen to Aiden Grant.
Vanessa Williams. The best for last probably like is Winding Down, but it still got radio play. All right. You want to know what I was doing?
What?
This very day? I was sitting at my desk at school, doodling, probably drawing pictures of Garfield, because I was in my Garfield fan club then, talking to Jamie Wood. Hey, Jamie, call me, tweet me, tell me what it's like to be a former friend of Patrick M. Dunn. And we're probably getting all ramped up for The Simpsons that night. We probably saw the ads. We probably heard them on the radio on the ride to school. We probably heard like the DUFF GARDENS theme song, like on the way. A Duff beer for me, a Duff beer for you. I'll have a Duff and you can have one too, or something like that. And I was wearing my my San Jose Sharks starter jacket that I wore all day because it was always cold in my school. We didn't have heat for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay, hold on. I have to ask. Why the San Jose Sharks?
You want to know why? You want to know the burning truth?
Yeah.
I knew nothing about sports, but I liked the colors. It was that like tailish color, and they were a newer-ish team, and I always just wanted to get the new teams as a jacket. I don't know. Just in case it became the next best thing. Like, I had a Mighty Ducks jacket, and I had a Florida Panthers jacket. So I was king of getting the new team jackets. Just in case, they became the next big thing. And I don't think the San Jose Sharks. Are they still around? Do they exist?
Yeah, they're still around.
You know what? And they had sharks on it. I was a big shark fan. You know me. I like myself a good catch. Deadliest catch. All right. What starter jacket were you wearing, Cat Elsa the author?
I wasn't wearing a starter jacket.
You're the only person in fucking all of America that probably wasn't wearing a starter jacket. Except for the poor kids. But you know what? They even had hand-me-downs.
If I wore something like related to a team at that time, it was Penn State.
They made jackets for college teams?
Look, I don't think I wore a jacket. I don't think I wore anything like that. Like, it just wasn't like what was in where I was.
What?
Yeah.
Was like those oversized Looney Tunes t-shirts popular where they were like hip-hop characters?
Yes. We were definitely oversized Looney Tunes.
Just checking. And then they came out with the Flintstone ones. Probably the same year the Flintstone ones came out. They tried to make like Pebbles like a hip hop star. I don't know.
I don't remember that, but
I don't know. So how did you keep warm? Because those fucking starter jackets, they would keep you nice and cozy. You could like hide stuff in there too. You could like hide your Playboy cards.
We had very different experiences growing up, honey.
Did I ever tell you that story? Did I ever tell you the Playboy card story? I don't think I've ever told it on the pod, but it's real quick.
No.
It's not that bad. So I had like an uncle. Well, my mom had an uncle who was like a pervert, and we used to go over there like on like Friday nights or something. And then like my younger brother and my cousin, we would just hang out in his like he had a spare room, like a spare bedroom, and he had a TV in there, and he had like Sega Genesis or some video game console that we didn't have in there. And like games were only 2-player games back then, and one person had to just kind of like sit on the side. So I don't know, I'm just like kind of going through his closet, and I find this shoebox, and I pull it down, and it's like Playboy trading, like not trading cards, but playing cards, like you can play poker with, and it just had nude chicks on it. And so I'm like, whoa. So I stole it. I brought it to school, and I was selling them for 25 cents a pop. And fucking I had this like racket going around school, and I got caught. And my Mrs. Bogus, my 5th grade teacher, wrote a letter home that I had to bring to my mom telling me like what I did, and I had to get it signed. I never gave it to my mom, and I forged her signature, and I brought it back. And to this day, she still don't know.
Until she hears this podcast.
I know. She probably, you know what? Her and I used to run into her over the years. I'd be like, like 22, and I'd run into her, and we'd be catching up. When I worked retail, she was one of my number one shoppers. I'd always be selling her stuff, giving her coupons, discounts, giving her my hut discounts. Shout out to Mrs. Bogus. Not married to Mr. Bogus, the cartoon character. Married to the other Mr. Bogus. And what a name, am I right?
Oh, your teacher is who you're talking about. I was like, you would just like run it to your mom and catch up. I'm like, what?
She was like 8 feet tall. She looked like Big Bird. Loved her. She was great. Except that time she caught me selling Playboy cards.
Oh my gosh.
Bad times.
My 5th grade teacher was Mrs. Kleeman.
Ooh.
She always spelled my last name wrong. Because she spelled it like my cousin's last name.
This was back in the day when teachers actually looked like the teachers from Saved by the Bell, and they weren't like young and hot like they are on CW shows. It was a different time back then, children.
Totally. Like, Mrs. Kleeman had been around for a while. Like I said, my cousins had her as like a young teacher, and then I had her, and she always misspelled my last name. She always would put an O instead of an A. Every damn time. And my mom was like, we're Halstead, not Holstead.
Ooh, you know what? She needs to go back to school. How about that? All right.
Pretty sure she's retired by now. God, I hope so.
She was probably like 80 then, right?
She was definitely no spring chicken.
I remember I had a teacher in like freshman year, and my dad had her, and he was like, she was old then. Like, I can't imagine how old she is now.
Oh, no, that's the thing. Like, when I grew up, when I was in New Jersey, like, my uncles, my cousins, and I all had the same shop teacher.
Whoa, shop teacher. Was he missing thumbs?
Yeah.
From the bandsaw?
There might have been a missing appendage or two. I don't recall.
I think every shop teacher was always missing a thumb or like a tip. Missing just the tip. What a time. What a time to be alive.
So there was, like, the shop teacher who, like, several of us had, and, like, when I say several, I mean, there's, like, an age gap between my cousins and me.
Oh, yeah. You talked about this before, because they were, like, way out of school almost, and you were just, like, 2 or something.
My cousins have, like, great-grandkids at this point.
Yeah.
Some of them. It seems like, at least.
Kat is just the
They definitely have grandkids, and I'm like, no.
Kat's just the baby of the family. She's just young Kat. That's what they used to call her.
Technically, Mark is the baby, but
You're the young gal.
Yeah.
The young gal. All right. Do you think we painted 1993 for you?
Yeah.
We got Kat Halstead in shop class making a birdhouse. You got me selling Playboy cards to other students. Me in a Garfield club. Starter jackets.
I'm obsessed with, like, Swan's Crossing.
Yeah, she's obsessed with Swan's Crossing and Mark Paul Gosselaar, MPG.
Yeah.
Still in high school, Mark Paul Gosselaar. Pre-Puffy, before he started hitting the roids.
Oh, Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Oh, yeah. Before we saw his butt on NYPD Blue, like 2 years later. Actually, no, this is too soon. I was like...
You're getting way... No. This is what it goes. He did Saved by the Bell, the New Class, then The Vegas Wedding, Dead Man on Campus, then he had that WB show with Dylan Neal where they were the brothers, and, like, Yasmin Bleeth was on it or something like that.
Hyperion Bay.
And then he had, like, another WB show that lasted, like, 5 episodes.
And
then I think he did
NYPD Blue.
NYPD Blue.
Yeah, I just remember it was like a rite of passage. Like Jimmy Smith is like saying goodbye to his butt. Now we're saying hello to MPG's butt. It was like a rule. Like you had to like show your butt if you're on that show. Like that was like I don't know, I think the only person who never showed their butt was like actually I think Dennis Franz. I think we saw his rear end a lot of times. Now that I'm recalling.
Yeah, I hear from what I remember hearing, because I never watched the show, you saw his butt a lot.
Yeah, stay tuned for episode 201 of the pod. It's the NYPD Blue Butts episode. You know what? I could picture like a compilation episode, like it's just like a clip show, and we just get like a 5-minute butt segment. Oh, that'd be great. I'd love it. I can just picture it's like Dennis Franz and I don't know somebody else, like they're sitting at like a sauna. They're like, oh, remember that time that we showed our butts, and they just get like a 5-minute clip of butts. It'd be great.
Oh my goodness!
Now that we've painted the scene, do you want to know what we were watching that night, or what we may have been watching, or what we had the choice to watch from?
Let's hear what we might have been watching. I'm kind of curious. I have some suspicions if my cat math timeline is where I think it is.
I will tell you, I was watching Fox all night long. I remember the other shows. I was aware of them. I've seen them. We've talked about them on the podcast, but I was loyal. I was loyal to my boy Bart and Homie and Marjorie and Lisa and Maggie and Santa's Little Helper. You know, I stuck by them. You know, I followed them, and then I stuck with the network. All right. You want to start off with the Alphabet ABC, our boys at ABC?
Yeah, what's happening on ABC?
All right, any guesses? Thursday night at 8. This is an infamous...
I have none. I cannot fathom what was on.
This show infamously went against The Simpsons. They even reference it on the show, and it's actually the favorite show of a character. Not MacGyver. It's not MacGyver.
I have no clue.
Think of what Grandpa Simpson would be watching. What do you think Grandpa would be watching?
Oh, Matlock.
Yes, Matlock. Don't be fooled by his down-home demeanor and country boy ways. Criminal defense lawyer Ben Matlock, I didn't know he had a first name, is worth every penny of his fee. You can count on Matlock to visit the crime scene, scope out the clues, and dramatically reveal the real criminal, usually a killer, during a climatic trial sequence. Ooga. Fun times. You know what? This is a show I sometimes watch on like MeTV when they have that like 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. like action block. It's like Matlock, Diagnosis Murder, and like Walker, Texas Ranger or something.
I mean, I got sucked into an episode once because like Tracy Gold was on it. I was like, what is this?
You thought it was like a Brave Growing Pains crossover?
I didn't know what it was, but I was like, what is this? And I'm like watching it, and then I'm like, then finally Andy Griffith shows up. I'm like, oh, it's Matlock.
Yeah, I used to always confuse this show and Diagnosis Murder, like, because they were both starred a sitcom star from the 60s.
How do you get Matlock and Diagnosis Murder confused?
I think it's the premise. It's not the show, it's just the premise of the show. I don't know. Because Diagnosis Murder is more like a medical examiner-y type, I think.
Yeah.
And Matlock is more, I don't know, he's just a...
lawyer?
Yeah, I think so. He's like an old...
I could understand if you got Perry Mason and Matlock confused.
There's just like a weird crossroad in my mind where these two shows just intersect.
They probably had a crossover at some point. No, wait. No, because they were different networks.
Yeah. Diagnosis of Murder and Murder, She Wrote probably had like a hot night together, but Ben Matlock did this shit on his own. All right. You ready for what was following Matlock? I'm excited for this. This is fucking exciting. I've never heard of this show.
I have no clue, so give it to me.
All right, have you ever heard of a show called Jack's Place?
I know the title.
You want the premise? This sounds exciting to me. I don't know why.
Yeah, give me the premise.
This is about a restaurant owner who helps people find their lost loves.
Okay.
Hal Linden of Barney Miller fame. And, you ready? You sitting down for this? Finola Hughes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My Anna Devane.
I would have watched the fuck out of this right now, I bet. Like, if this came out this fall, like, if we were watching Big Brother tonight and it says, like, coming this, like, September, Jack's Place, I would watch the fuck out of this. I'm not gonna lie. This would be my new drug, this shit right here.
You know I love some Finola Hughes, so...
Oh, yeah, for sure. What, has she been up to anything lately? I feel like she just kind of, like, disappeared into the ether.
She's on General Hospital, dude.
Still?
Yeah.
Shit, oh. You know what?
She's Anna fucking Devane, man.
Well, I guess you know what? When she's down on her luck, she's always got Port Charles to keep her at bay.
She's been on General Hospital again for like 10 years or something, man.
We've probably talked about it before. I just forgotten. I just don't think of her anymore that much. Sorry, Finola.
Oh my gosh.
You're no Emma Samms.
You're so embarrassing at times.
But you are a gal pal. All right, you ready for 10 o'clock? Any guesses? We've talked about the show before.
What's on at 10?
Prime Time Live. Ooga.
Yeah, Diane Sawyer.
She's probably interviewing Michael Jackson tonight. It's 1993.
In Patrick's world, Diane Sawyer only ever interviewed Michael Jackson.
Like, I just think back.
I feel like that maybe didn't even happen.
I just like look back at Diane Sawyer's like illustrious career. The only thing I remember her doing is interviewing Michael Jackson. Like, who else has she interviewed? Like, name one other person.
Dude, that interview didn't happen until 1995.
We're close enough. We're like in that.
And it was with Lisa Marie Presley.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, you know what? I remember that. A sit down with Lisa and Michael. It was like a primetime special. It was on all night long. Then it was followed by like a I don't know, like a special of like the Jackson 5 discography or something. Great time. And then like on the local news that night, it was like someone sat down with like LaToya. Was that what it was really like, LaToya? And she's like, yes, it was. Loved it. All right, you ready for the tip?
I will say she was probably gearing up to interview Charles Manson.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that like scared the fuck out of me because in my mind I always thought that Charles Manson was dead, and then like young me found out he was still alive and like he could escape any minute now and send his family after me.
I know, right? I was like always waiting for him to like escape prison and like try to start his race riot and cult again. I mean, those bitches are still like active followers of him to this day.
Yeah, they're still out there in the abandoned streets of LA, living in the Thriller neighborhood. Call back to episode like 4 or 5, I think. We talk about it.
Oh my god.
You ready for the Tiffany Network? You ready for a hot night at CBS?
Yeah, what's going on CBS?
All right, we've talked about this before. Top Cops. Do you know that?
I vaguely remember it.
It's it's CBS's answer to Cops. It's basically a documentary program that followed law enforcement around. They wanted a piece of that bad boys, what you gonna do action, but they couldn't quite get there. Ready for CBS 9 o'clock?
Yeah, what's on at 9? Street
Stories with Ed Bradley.
What the hell is that?
It was just a news magazine type show. Just, I don't know. It's like a boring night at CBS. We get, I don't know, a boring night of cops and a boring night of Ed Bradley stories on a countryside somewhere talking about like a Cracker Barrel or something. Who knows?
Oh my gosh. Okay, what's next?
All right. We're going to the cul-de-sac. Knots Landing. Ooga.
Okay.
Maybe its final season, probably? Or gearing up?
It's got to be its final season at this point.
Ramping down. Coming down to the end. Because I feel like I was young when the reunion movie came out. Like, I feel like I was, like barely 12.
Yeah, I feel like We were probably like middle schoolers when the reunion movie came out.
And we're in middle school when this fucking Simpsons episode aired, so yeah, this is probably the last season.
No, we were in 5th grade. We were grade school, hun.
My 5th grade was middle school. Way ahead of you, girl. Way ahead of you, girl.
What kind of Boy Meets World ridiculous school did you go to?
A crazy one, because high school started at 8th grade for me. I was in high school in 8th grade.
Oh my god.
I was a child, and there was, like, adults going to school with me. Just picture that. Just picture that world.
Oh, dear God.
I was, like, barely into puberty, and there was, like, grown men walking down the hallways.
You literally are Corey from Boy Meets World, then.
Yeah. I just remember going into 8th grade. Like, I was just, like 5 feet tall, like a child, and the seniors were, I just thought the seniors were like 40-year-old men. They were just so like tall and old looking to me. They drove cars, they smoked cigarettes outside. I was like, what is this? Where am I?
Yeah. Oh my god.
What is this place? What crazy world am I living in now? But then, you know what? Then when I'm a senior and you look at like other seniors, you're like, I didn't remember looking like that. like I still felt like a child when I was a senior. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip Fox. I'm gonna go to NBC. Then I'm gonna come back because Fox is a lit night.
Okay, what's on NBC?
Actually, this is exciting. I've never heard of this. At 8 o'clock, a sitcom, Out All Night. Do you know Out All Night?
Out All Night. Ooh, I know the name. I feel like there's a plucky blonde on this show. I don't know.
Oh no, this is about a former singer who opens an urban nightclub in Los Angeles. You wanna guess who's in it?
Oh, Jack A.
No, Patti LaBelle.
Ooh.
And Vivica A. Fox also had a recurring role on it too. So good for her.
Okay.
All right, NBC 8:30. Any guesses? We've done it. We've done the show before.
The Cosby Show.
Close. Takes place in the same universe.
Oh, a different world.
Oh yeah. And NBC 9 o'clock. Come on, you know it.
Cheers.
All right, NBC 9:30. We've done this before. We know it. We've talked about it in depth numerous times.
It would be Seinfeld.
Nope. Wings.
Oh, Wings. Duh, Cat. Oh my god.
We have L.A. Law at 10, a show neither of us have ever seen, but we know like a super deal amount about between the two of us.
Like, for a show we've never seen, yeah, we actually oddly know like some weird random things about it.
Good. I don't know. Maybe one of these days.
Like, if you put me in for LA Law trivia, I would totally flop. But yeah,
I saw it somewhere. It's on maybe Peacock. I don't know. It's on something that I saw. It's on some streaming thing now.
I'm sure it is.
We'll find it. We'll watch it. We'll do it for episode 202 after we do fucking Matlock. All right. We have a special outside of primetime today. You ready for this? Before we get to Fox?
Let's hear it.
All right. I know who was on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno tonight. You ready? You ready for the guess?
Okay.
It's 1993. Can you take? There's 3 guesses. I'll give you 5 AVSP points if you guess at least one of them. Who was on tonight's episode? Just think it's 1993. Think movies and music. There's 2. There's a movie star, a movie maker.
Kevin Costner.
Nope. A movie maker and a country singer.
Steven Spielberg.
No. Less famous than that. But relevant today.
I want to say Color Me Bad. This is like the worst guesses ever.
All right. You're not even close. All right. Michael Moore.
Okay.
Michael Moore.
He was the thing in 1993?
Yeah, I think his very first movie came out this year.
Okay.
Then Jean-Claude Van Damme and musical guest Conway Twitty.
What? No.
I love it. I stand. I want to watch this episode. I bet we got like Jay walking on this episode tonight too. This is like the early years. This is like Jay's first year, right? Because he took over in 92.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He's like a hot commodity then. Love it. I stand. All right. You ready for Fox? You ready to end the night with Fox? Just nonstop Fox. Just one Fox. All right.
Yeah.
8 o'clock. The Simpsons. We'll get there. We'll get there soon. Do you have any guesses for 8:30? Following The Simpsons.
Martin.
You got it. Can you go to 9 o'clock? Can you do the 9 o'clock hour? It's just a half-hour show. Very popular. Wildly popular. We've never done it, but we've talked about it a lot. And it created a lot of famous actors.
Okay.
Came out of this show. In living color.
Oh, yeah.
All right. 9:30. I know you can get this. You've guessed this wrong as something that was on in the past. But if you say it tonight, you'll get it right.
Herman's Head.
No, Down the Shore.
Down the Shore. That was my second guess.
Oh, I love it. I stand. I don't know.
Okay, first guess is always Herman's Head. Second is Down the Shore.
But you did it reverse last time, though. You said Down the Shore last time, and then you said Herman's head. So
okay, fine.
What a night, huh? What a night for Fox. That's probably like A+ material for Fox. Fox.
I feel like I was hopping between NBC and Fox.
I don't really take you as an in living color watcher. I feel like you would have gone over to Cheers for some reason.
Oh yeah, I was 100% over to Cheers.
And then did you do...
This is the final season of Cheers, baby.
Did you do Down the Shore and Wings, or did you just did you pick one?
I probably watched both, but I would flip back and forth between the two.
Ooh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I remember this whole night. I just remember this lineup. Down the Shore, we talked about it. We've done it as a podcast choice in the past, so go back, listen to it. It's
yes.
It was when we did Beach Month, right? It was a Beach Month. Kathy Ireland's in it.
You finally got your month. They're never happening again.
Kathy Ireland was a guest star. That inspired Kat to buy the Kathy Ireland nightgown that she wears all the time.
Yes, it's an awesome freaking nightgown, man. It is so comfortable.
Now that we've gotten through 1993, you know all about us. You know all about television that night. Are you ready to go into the wild, wild world of Selma's Choice?
Yes, let's talk about this episode. Because this episode, if you look at this title, you do not know what you're getting into at all.
No, I actually thought the episode was called DUFF GARDENS. So I'm scrolling through the list looking for DUFF GARDENS, and I
went up to season 8, and I was like, no, this episode is way earlier. So then I had to Google what it was to figure it out. I was because I was looking at the episode titles and the slight descriptions. This isn't. I'm where the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I'm where is this episode? I'm it's not. It's an early episode. I was it's not season 1 or 2. It's got to be 3 or 4. And I'm going through the seasons on Disney Plus, and I'm where the fuck is this?
It's the one episode that they take out because it has bear in it. Well, actually, all the episodes have bear in it. Anyway, so. Season 4, I remember as being the year they started to flesh out the other characters on the show. You got to meet the other citizens of Springfield. So this is kind of I don't think this is the first Patty and Selma episode, but I think it's an early Patty and Selma episode.
It's not. It's the second one that's the first one kind of focused on Patty. This one focuses more on Selma.
Yes, because Patty was dating Principal Skinner, or was it Selma? I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, she went out with Principal Skinner. He fell for her, and Selma was jealous because Selma was the one who wanted to fall in love, and Patty's
yeah.
What do I need this fool for?
This is pre-Crabapple for Crabapple. Crabapple. It's been a while since I said that name. R.I.P. Edna Crabapple. We miss you. Come back. Tweet us. Tell us being a shitty teacher.
Dude.
Who smokes in the classroom and drinks out of a nip.
Oh my
yeah, so we get a Pat and Selma episode. They kind of come to the forefront. Selma basically has baby fever, but I don't know, I think we have to go back to the very beginning to kind of see how it all ties together.
Okay, we start off a Saturday morning or something, really.
Yeah, it's early.
The kids are home from school, Homer's home from work, they're watching TV together. And a commercial comes on for DUFF Gardens, which is a amusement park that's not too far away.
It's in the neighborhood.
It looks like maybe they've probably just upgraded some stuff or something. They're trying to really market it. They got rid of the roaming gangs. Yeah.
So they do that whole we're going to Disneyland thing. So we see an Eiffel Knievel guy. It's Lance Murdoch, and he's on a dirt bike. He flies over 18 burning buses and then crashes into a wall or something. And it's Phil Hartman's voice. He's the announcer, and he's now that you've jumped over 18 flaming buses, what are you gonna do, Lance Murdoch? And he's all injured. His neck's cracked. He's I'm going to DUFF Gardens.
God, I miss Phil Hartman.
It's the craziest fucking me too. It's the craziest fucking theme park. It's got a roller coaster that's halfway finished, and it goes up into the clouds where jets still fly. Mm-hmm. I think it's called Whiplash. And then it's got a ride that's a washing machine, and it spins around and just spits water in your face.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing is the bear aquarium, which is just a giant bear mug that has fish in it.
Yes, and I messaged Patrick yesterday. I was would you drink a beer if there's fish in it? And you were if it's the prize.
Yeah, a cereal prize.
Yeah.
They're burping. They're bumping into the glass. They have like big heads. They all look and sound like Barney.
Dude, cereals don't even have prizes anymore, man.
They don't?
No.
Are you kidding me?
My box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch doesn't have a prize in it.
You don't get like a...
Neither does our box of Peanut Butter Crunch Captain Crunch.
You don't get a mini decoder ring or like a sticker or like a fucking, I don't know, a top?
No. Well, you know when you get like Cracker Jacks now, you just get like a code to download some shit.
Yeah, or you get like GIFs or like smiley faces emojis to like add to your keyboard or something.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck this. This isn't like what my 4-year-old nephew wants, because like that's the last time I had Cracker Jacks with Axton. And I was like, oh, there's a prize in it. And then it's just like this thing that says download this. And I'm like, fuck you.
No, you want like a removable tattoo or something. You want something crazy.
Okay.
That was your nephew called up to tell you that he heard you talking about how they no longer have prizes in cereal, and he's upset, wildly upset, because he wants prizes in his cereal, and now he's gonna expect them.
I mean, he would probably eat cereal if it had prizes.
I don't know. The reason why you bought cereal back in the day.
Yeah, like they don't have prizes. They don't like. It's not like collect this many box tops and you can get like your Captain Crunch cereal bowl or anything, you know?
I remember back in the day, you would, if you bought G.I. Joes and you collected like 6 box tops or whatever, like the little like UPC codes, you'd mail them in and you get like a cool like mail-in order only toy.
Yeah, like, doesn't seem like they do stuff like that anymore.
No, our kids are missing out on this great world of shitty toy prizes that you lose like an hour later anyway, but who cares? Who cares? It's all about the thrill.
Yeah, like, but the thing about some of that stuff was cool. Like, at least it kept you entertained. It was a goal to achieve, is get to the bottom of the box and get the prize, even if my asshole cousins would steal them.
Did your parents have to buy 2 boxes of Captain Crunch, so each of you siblings got a prize? Oh, that's what my mom had to do. She had to buy like she had to buy, if she bought Captain Crunch, she'd have to buy 4 boxes, so every kid got a prize.
Oh God,
we were assholes. All right, so Homer, Lisa, and Bart, they see the DUFF GARDENS commercial, and they're all like, their eyes are wide open, and even Homer's like, we gotta go, like, we're, drop what we're doing, we're gonna cancel like cleaning the garage, we're going to DUFF GARDENS, like, fuck that, like, I don't care what your nagging mom says, we're going. So they run upstairs, they like go in the room, they're like getting ready. Marge comes like busted in, she's like, guys, I got some bad news, our Aunt Gladys died. And nobody can remember who Aunt Gladys was. They all just kind of like drew a blank. And Bart's like, tall lady, tall blue hair with a dent in her forehead. And Marge is like, no, she looks more like Patty and Selma. And they all just shudder. They're all like, ooh. So the kids get it. The kids are like, all right, you know what? This sucks. But, we can always go next week. And Homer's the one who's like pissed. He's like, but I want to go to DUFF GARDENS right now. Marge, why does your stupid aunt have to die?
Yeah.
So they gather up the car. They pack up the car. They get to swing by Patty and Selma's place. Patty and Selma are in their, like, funeral attire. This just ugly black.
Everybody's in their, like, funeral attire. Like,
Patty and Selma's was just very striking to me for some reason. It just stood out more than anyone else's.
Yeah.
I love when we get Marge with lipstick, because we get Marge with lipstick out of the scene, and it's always just pleasing to me for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
Marge looks like Jackie O at like JFK's wedding. I mean, funeral wedding.
Wow. Wow, Patrick.
Sorry.
Wow.
And they're in the car. They pick up Patty and Selma. Patty and Selma are like chain smoking, and they're using like a cup filled with water as an ashtray, and you can hear that like like when the ash falls in the water. It was so disgusting. And whoever did the artwork on this episode, they just perfectly captured what like cigarette water looks like so perfectly. I was watching this late last night and I was like kind of sick. I had like just eaten food and I wasn't feeling that good after. And I just saw that. I did like a gag in my mouth. I was like, I don't know. It was just like perfectly captured. They're like singing "Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead" on the ride there on top of Old Smoky or whatever.
Well, okay, because they're trying to sing. They're in a fucking car ride and they're like trying to pass the time. So they're like, on top of spaghetti, all covered in cheese. I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. And Marge is like, guys, we're going to a funeral.
And then Bart starts. Oh, actually, I think it's Homer starts singing "The Wicked Witch is Dead."
Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch, old witch, the wicked witch.
It's fucking great. I love it. And then they stop at this like shitty diner, this like shitty roadside diner. Like I was trying to figure out like how far away, like where were they going?
They were going far away, enough away that they all had freaking luggage not properly strapped down to the top of the car.
And they all had like Patty and Selma had like bags upon bags of luggage.
Yeah, like
for people who never change clothes, they definitely carry a lot of shit with them.
Well, think about it. They all have like multiple copies of the same outfit.
We did learn that in an episode. We saw Homer's closet one time, and he's like, I don't know what to wear.
Yeah.
There's a part though where they go to this like shitty roadside diner. So like I was like thinking, all right, they are driving far enough away where they have to stop somewhere because they're hungry before the funeral, and they're already dressed in their mourning clothes. Aren't Gladys died and they had the funeral on the same day and they drove all this way there?
No, I don't think it's the same day. I think it's like the next day. Either way, like the whole thing is very fast. But also Aunt Gladys is not a young woman, so there's probably like things that were like in place to happen as soon as she passed.
Yeah, she probably had a plan. She probably had a good Lionel Hutt's attorney at law who practices law outside of Springfield took care of everything for her. Where did she have Littlewood Farms or something is what it was called?
Something ridiculous like that.
I have a question for you. I have a funeral related question for you.
Yeah.
So I know traditionally you're supposed to wear black at a funeral. Are you immediately supposed to wear black? Like, are you immediately supposed to go into mourning and wear black, like, after someone dies?
I think publicly, yes.
Okay, because I was trying to figure out why Patty and Selma dressed in black. Well, they all dressed in black if their funeral was until the next day. I don't know.
I feel like also we have to realize that traditions have changed a lot since this episode aired, too, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, so we finally get to the funeral home. Like, we're at the funeral, and, like, there's all these people there. Like, a bunch of people. The place is packed. Our family's sitting up front, and then this guy's, like, giving a sermon, and he's, like, talking about, oh, he was a great man. He was loved by many. And then this other guy comes up and, like, whispers in his ear, and he's like, oh, he was a she? Oh, shit, well, everything I said, but replace it with she.
Yeah.
And then he's like, she wasn't a woman made of money, and then like everyone just stormed out of there.
If you're in somebody's will, you'll find out.
I feel like you'd already know. I feel like will readings only happen in like dramatic TV series.
I have never been to a reading of a will, but I have received stuff from a will.
But you knew ahead of time though, right?
I actually didn't realize it was in my grandma's will until I got a letter from a lawyer and a check.
Ooh, look at you.
So yeah, that's how I feel like most of these are handled. It's handled through legal proceed. A lawyer handles it and is like, okay, this person's supposed to get this much and this one gets that.
Like probate court.
Unless you have the relative who fucks everything up, then you have to sue them.
Is there a place where everybody goes and somebody comes out and they play a video? I don't know, I feel like that happens on soap operas all the time and Melrose Place type shows.
I don't feel like I've heard of anybody even going to a will reading unless they're wealthy, you know what I mean?
Even Aunt Gladys has a video will. They videotape her in her home and she's sitting on her easy chair with Jub Jub the iguana on her lap and her collection of celebrity lookalike chips.
Yes. Oh my god, the chips.
I'm did she record this a week before she died? What is this? What's going on?
But yeah, so she's got the video will. Lionel Hutz is her attorney. He tries to scam the family out of $50,000. Apparently it works quite a bit.
Yeah, he does a voiceover and it's and I leave to my lawyer, Lionel Hutz, $50,000. And then Marge is wait a second. And he's you'll be surprised how often that works.
Wow.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Ambulance chaser to the to the bones. So
she leaves Marge the potato chip collection
that looks like celebrities.
She says they're like my children, and Homer's out there eating them. Okay, how old do you think these potato chips are at this point? And Homer's just munching down on them.
They were brown chips though. They were really just very old looking, even for a cartoon.
Yeah, they were not these are chips you probably found in the 60s or something.
So I was looking into this. So that scene, that chip eating scene, that is based on, I guess there was a famous woman, Myrtle Young. She used to go on Carson all the time.
Yeah, she had the potato chip collection.
She collected potato chips, and they just thought it'd be funny if they just put that joke onto the show. So Ooga. I stand.
And then, like, Homer realizes what it is, and he keeps eating them. That's the thing about Homer that I just...
Yeah, it kind of gets called back to later on this episode that he just loves eating old food.
That's true.
So, Aunt Gladys gives Jub Jub to their the sister, Patty, Selma, and Marge's mom.
Yeah.
And then she leaves advice to Patty and Selma. She says, "Do not die alone like me. You know, I regret my whole life. Get out there. Find yourself a man. Have kids."
Yeah.
And Patty's like, whatever. She don't care. But it hits Selma. Like, it just hits Selma to the core. Selma, I think we're now at a crossroads for Selma. She's... How old do you think Patty and Selma are? Like, almost 40, you think?
So, we have to think about it this way. Marge and Homer are, like...
Mid-30s?
At the oldest, 33.
Yes.
Because we have to remember how young they were when they had Bart. Okay? Patty and Selma are only a few years older than Marge. Like, there's a gap. They're not, like, just a couple. I'd say they're, like, a good 5 years older.
Yeah, because I seem to remember an episode where they were teenagers, and Marge was, like a little girl. Like, she was, like a 5-year-old.
So, I would say that she is, like... our age, like say around 38.
Okay, all right, yeah. I was gonna put them between like 38 and like 42 at the latest.
I feel like they haven't exactly hit 40. They're close, you know.
They're creeping up.
Like this is when like the back in the day the late 80s, early 90s, the biological clock would start ticking for a lot of people.
Yes, and if you were 38-year-old childless woman who wasn't married, they called you a spinster.
Yeah.
We're in like that era. And like Patty and Selma have lived a hard life.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. They have like they have a shitty, stressful job at the DMV. They chain smoke.
Yeah.
They eat potato chips and watch fucking MacGyver reruns all day. Like, they're not fit and out there and active. They're just they're like homebodies. They're basically joined at the hip. They're the same person. Like, I could never tell the difference between Patty and Selma, like, regardless. like
you kind of gotta like figure out the earrings to be able to tell.
I don't even think I could even figure it out. They're always in scenes together. The only other time you know, like, who one person is when you get an episode like this, where it's like Selma heavy, and you know which one is Selma just because it's the way the plot is advancing in the storyline.
Yeah.
All right, so Selma loses her fucking mind. She is just panicking. She's like, "Oh my god, Aunt Gladys is right. My biological clock is ticking. Like, I only got a few fertile years left, if even that. Like, who knows?" So
yeah, she
does what I thought was hilarious. She goes to a video dating service.
In 2020, this seems like totally absurd. I feel like this is the kind of thing that people did before they had Tinder or eHarmony or Match.com, you know? It's not that different of a concept.
I know. This is just a wild concept to me. So people would go to a place, sit in front of like a curtain, and have like answer questions on videotape, and then they would send the videotape out to people. Is that how this worked? I was like trying to figure out how this works.
I feel like you would like fill out a profile, and then they'd like put your like 4-minute, 5-minute, whatever video onto like a VHS of like a bunch of people.
And they send the video out?
Yeah, send it like, here are your matches. That's the way I think it worked. I don't know.
So,
honestly,
do you think it's just a bunch of people like solving those like Cosmo quizzes by hand, like adding up the scores and stuff, and then figure out like what video to put on which?
Yeah, probably.
But you had to go somewhere, I think, right? You had to go to a building. Like, you didn't do this at your house.
Yeah, no, like you would go to like the store in the mall and like make the video.
Oh, that's gonna be embarrassing.
Yeah, because remember in the movie Singles, Debbie makes the video.
Yes. It's the only other time I've ever seen this. And Mad TV skits. There's like a Mad TV skit that does this.
I think there's like I want to say there's an episode of like Full House or something like that where
we'll have to find it.
One of them does a video date.
I feel like that's something that Joey would do. I feel like Jesse Kansopoulos has no problem getting laid. Joey, a little more difficult for him.
Yeah.
He's not as quite as handsome. His jokes are lame. He's got to work a little extra harder. He has to go down to the fucking low expectations dating service at the mall on the other side of the fucking Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah, she makes the video date, and
no one wants it.
Selma is just kind of that, like, cringy woman. Can we be real? There's just...
like...
She's very comfortable in her own skin, but that can be very off-putting because she's not very feminine.
Groundskeeper Willie, he rips the tape out and, like, throws it in the trash, and he's like, I'm better off with Nessie.
Yeah, like... Go back to the Loch Ness.
Selma fails at the video dating service. She, like, fucks up miserably. Now she's, like, at the DMV, and she just has to deal with her shitty DMV patrons all day. And in comes Hans Moleman, gets his license rejected, but then Selma just happens to notice on his license it says that he's single. You know what? Like, I only got, like, a few good years left. I could probably just put a bag over his face and, I don't know, deal with Hans Moleman. So he goes out on a hot date with Hans.
Nothing on my driver's license indicates if I'm married or single or anything like that.
Maybe in Springfield. Maybe this is the kind of cues they ask in Springfield.
Maybe.
Like, my driver's license asks for my weight. Can change all the time. So I don't know. It's kind of like a weird thing to throw in there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, my weight is on here. I don't know how accurate it actually is at this point.
I stand. All right, so Selma goes on like...
Wait, when do I need to renew this?
Ooh, we're at renewal corner here.
Oh, I still got 2 years. I'm good.
She ain't worried. So Selma goes on a date with Hans. Hans is like trying to read like the menu, but it's like the wine list. So he's just like reading everything. He's like, Cabernet Sauvignon Blanc.
It's not even doing that. He's like yellow birdhouse.
Selma is just like having a miserable time, but she's like, I don't know. Maybe I can go through with it. Who knows? It's a guy. He's got a penis. I can reproduce. I don't need him. I just need basically a sperm donor here. I don't need someone to stick around for a long time. She gets all the way back to her actually a house to drop off Hans Moleman. He puckers up his lips for a good night kiss, and she has like a vision of the future of just like, I don't know, 7 ugly children just running around, running into the walls, falling out the windows, just being Hans Moleman like, and she just like throws him out of the car, just like kicks him out, jazz Fresh Prince style.
Yeah.
And he's like, this isn't my house. And then she like takes off. Who cares? So now,
listen, I've had my share of bad dates where you're just like, you're like, you have that moment where you think of the future and you're just like, oh fuck no, we're out, no, we're done.
What a time to be alive. It's like post date. I guess Patty stays at the Simpsons house, like waiting to hear how the date went. Like she.
Okay, to be fair, the sisters do seemingly go over to see Marge quite a bit. I feel like there's probably like a certain night of the week that they always go over.
Yeah, like a Tuesday or something. It's like a midweek.
Yeah, like it's Tuesday night. We're going over to Marge's, but Selma had this date, so Patty still went over to Marge.
I guess after the date, though, Selma had to report right to the Simpson house.
Yeah. Well, she wants to, Marge is the supportive sister.
Yeah. Like, what if the date went well and, like, Selma stayed out all night? Like, was Patty going to just stay there all night? Like, what was the plan?
I don't know. I don't want to know. I can't imagine Selma's date going all night long.
Can you picture? I can't even envision Hans Moleman, like, in the act. I can't even imagine it. Like, what would it be like? Like, what would it be like?
Yeah.
All right, so the date doesn't go well. Lisa's like, well, why don't you go to a sperm bank? Oh, no, artificial insemination, I think, is the exact word that she says. And
yes, and Homer thinks it has something to do with robots.
Then it's the next day. Selma decides to hit up the sperm bank. And she's, I don't know, like, I guess, like, filling out the paperwork. And she's at, like, the reception desk. And she's kind of, like, talking to the lady about it. And they're talking about how, like, they only get, like, high-class talent that comes through there. And out comes Barney, and he's like, I filled up the jug all the way this week.
Like, you get Barney, you get, like, Jacques, you get Troy McClure.
Mo.
God.
There's a point where, like, the camera pans out over Springfield, and you just see a bunch of, like, Barney babies everywhere.
Oh, God, isn't that terrifying?
It's fucking crazy. So, Selma is, like, still considerate, but, I don't know, I guess she hasn't got her, specimen yet. So...
Yeah.
I guess it's now the day where Homer's supposed to take Lisa and Bart to DUFF Gardens, but he got sick from, he got food poisoning from eating a hoagie that he's had for days, and he got it like the company picnic. It was like a 12-foot sandwich.
Yeah, he's had it for like months. Like, it ended up behind the radiator, he started eating it again. It's just like one of those things only Homer would do. Like, I don't think a person would eat a hoagie that looked the way it looked.
Yeah, like Bart and Lisa, they wake up Homer. They like pull the blanket down, and Homer is like ghostly pale. He's like a white, ghostly, sickly color, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sick. I don't know what's wrong." And then Marge is like, "I think it probably had something to do with that sandwich you've been eating." And we get this like 30 to 40 second like clip show of like Homer and the sandwich like over the weeks.
From where it's like the 6-foot long thing you get from a Subway to like it's now narrowed down to maybe 2 feet, but he's still eating it, and it's black and gray and ugh.
There's like flies buzzing around it.
Like it couldn't even taste good at this point.
I just remember this scene for some reason. This scene just like stuck with me for like all these years. I just remember like just the cut scenes of like Homer and the sandwich, and it just gets like a little bit smaller in every clip.
Yeah.
He like finds it outside, and he's like, "I hate you, sandwich. You did this to me." And then he like picks it back up and hugs it, and he's like, "I can't stay mad at you forever."
Yeah, it's really creepy. Like the way he attaches to this sandwich. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, season four is really when we started getting like dumb Homer.
Yeah.
This is the year where like Homer was always kind of dumb and dim-witted, but kind of was a successful man. You know, he controls Sector 7G at the power plant. He can handle things and all that jazz. But this is like the full-blown year that we just get Homer just is a giant man-child.
Yeah.
I love it. I stand. So the kids are kind of upset that they can't go to DUFF Gardens, so Selma goes like, "You know what? I'll take them. You know what? I want to see what it's like taking care of kids." So they drive all the way to DUFF Gardens. They get there. We meet the 7 Duffs. It's like Clumsy. Surly's one of them. There's so many of them. And Surly's my favorite. He's like this just angry drunk. This angry, stern, surly drunk.
I randomly looked up how old Diane Keaton was during Baby Boom.
We're like mid-podcast. I'm getting into this very serious discussion about the 7 Duffs. I'm trying to figure out the 7 Duff names. And you're over here looking up fucking Diane Keaton and fucking...
Oh, it's really bad.
Oh, my goodness.
I couldn't find out.
Well, how old was she?
No, the cat math does not work tonight.
You can't do the math, you can't do the cat math and figure out how old Diane Keaton was?
No.
All right, shout out to Baby Boom. Does it hold up? We'll find out. Follow us on our Patreon page. Maybe we'll do it one day.
Yeah.
All right, take me to DUFF Gardens. I need top-notch cat hair for episode 200. Ooh, I just got the finger. Like the little like finger swipe from Cat.
Okay, the way I see DUFF Gardens, it's not like your big theme park. It's not like your Disney World, your Universal kind of place. I would say it's more in line with like the Wisconsin Dells. It's like a very regional sort of thing.
Kind of like Canopy Lake in New Hampshire, or Storyland, which kind of has a theme, but not really. The rides kind of suck.
Like, and if you're visiting the area, you might drop in, but it's not like... It's like, I'd say it's like a mid-scale Six Flags type of place.
Yeah. Six Flags is kind of a new beast now. I feel like Six Flags is just as exciting as Disneyland.
I don't know. I mean, the last time I went to a Six Flags, it was Great Adventure, and that was in the 90s, so...
Oh, yeah, they've come a long way, baby. They have that old guy who dances to the Venga buses coming now, or they did 20 years ago.
I'm like, do they still have that old guy? We don't have a Six Flags in Colorado anymore. They don't own Elitch's anymore, so...
I don't know.
We don't get those commercials. Like, I finally escaped those commercials when we moved to Colorado, and then, like, 3 months later, Six Flags bought Elitch Gardens. We got inundated with them again.
In my mind, those commercials were, like, not that long ago, but they were fucking 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Future commercial corner episode, the Six Flags commercial.
Oh my god.
We'll get to it. We'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, so I like the way I feel it's like kind of like your mid-range, more local theme park.
But it's big. It's like big in that area. Like all the kids want to go there.
Yeah.
And adults.
Yeah, it's like everybody wanted to go to Great Adventure. Everybody wanted to go to Dorney Park or whatever, you know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, Busch Gardens and like Williamsburg, Virginia or someplace like that.
Yeah.
You know, I've never been to a Busch Gardens. What does Busch Gardens have?
I don't know. I didn't go when I went to Florida.
I remember I had the choice of going to Busch Gardens or a water park, and I chose the water park.
Yeah, I feel like I would have chosen the water park too. Like,
I feel like I didn't miss out on anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's the Tampa, and they have the Williamsburg one.
That's it, right? That's if there are only 2?
Yeah. I mean, apparently it's also the same company that owns Sesame Place and a few other places, but like...
What the fuck is Sesame Place? Is that like Sesame Street?
Yeah, you've never heard of Sesame Place? It's a Sesame Street theme park.
Whoa, that's wild to me. Like, you actually get to walk down Sesame Street and, like, see Big Bird and...
Like, hold on, you don't know about Sesame Place?
No, I've never heard of it.
There's one in Philadelphia and one in San Diego.
There's more than one?
How do you not know about... Oh, okay, I get it. Because, you know, I live way closer to Philadelphia than you did, so of course I heard about this as a kid. We got the commercials.
Maybe Podcast The Ride will do a Sesame Place episode.
I mean, Heather would know better than us.
All right, Heather, friend of the show, has Podcast The Ride ever done a Sesame Place episode?
I mean...
Like, just the name Sesame Place is just, like, it's just not Sesame Street Place? It's just Sesame Place?
Because it's supposed to be, like, Sesame Street.
Like, my first mind, when you said sesame, I thought of, like, the seed. That's, like, where my mind went. And I'm like, oh, is this, like, a garden of some sort? They're, like, growing seeds? They're growing sesame seeds? And then I was like, wait a second.
No.
Do you mean Sesame Street? Question mark?
Oh, at Busch Gardens, you can meet Big Bird.
Shit, wait, so why is Big Bird at Busch Gardens and Sesame Place? I don't get it. Oh, they're all owned by the same company.
Get excited, Sesame Street fans. There's news in Tampa, and it is big. For 2 weekends only, guests can enjoy a one-of-a-kind character connection like none other with Big Bird. Snap a physically distant photo with Big Bird at the Gwazi Pavilion in the Bird Gardens.
That sounds so unappealing. A physically distant photo with Big Bird. Is it the real Big Bird? Or is it just like a guy in a Big Bird suit?
I mean, it looks like the real Big Bird on the website.
Will Snuffleupagus be there?
No, it just mentions Big Bird.
Can you ask him like about Mr. Hooper? Like how he still feels about that? Is he still feeling like sad and remorseful?
Dude, kids don't even know who that is now. We barely knew who that was.
I don't know. I have so many questions. I wanna ask him about Follow That Bird. I wanna, ask him what it was like filming a movie.
Yeah, so apparently there's like Serengeti Safari that takes place over 65 acres.
Ooh.
And then there's like rides and stuff.
There's a bear garden, I imagine, too, right? You can go and get sauced while your kids run around.
I'm trying to figure out, like, there's rides and roller coasters, animal experiences, safari tours, events. What are the things to do? What are the things to do at this park? Because apparently it's Florida's favorite family destination, yet none of my friends in Florida ever mentioned going there.
All right, I want to bring something up.
Like, I have a lot of friends who live in Florida, and they all mention going to Disney World and Universal.
Yeah,
Nobody ever mentions going to Busch Gardens.
I can't get away from, like, Disney blogs, Disney vlogs, Disney videos, Disney points. I have never heard anyone do a Busch Gardens vlog or, like, a Busch Gardens, like, themed Instagram account. Like, if there's one out there, we want to see it.
Yeah.
Tweet us at Fairy Podcast. You know what? We want to have you on. Like, we want to talk about what it's like to be a Bushy. I'm sure is that what they're called? Bush Files?
I don't know.
I want to know. Bushwhackers?
Like, I just don't understand, like, anything going on at this place. Like,
but you get to meet Big Bird.
I feel like I could get the same experience going to Disney World, go to Animal Kingdom one day, and I'm gonna go on a safari. You know what I mean?
Yeah, plus you get to meet you might get to meet Roger Rabbit. You get to, like, have, like, I don't know, breakfast, fucking mimosas with, like, Cinderella.
Exactly.
Like, who knows, like, all the excitement that you could have at Disney World. But then it's like, go to Busch Gardens and meet Big Bird. You're like, whoa!
On these 2 weekends only.
Yeah, just Big Bird. Nobody else. Like, Kermit won't be there.
Yeah, just Big Bird.
No Cookie Monster. Like, you know what? I'd probably, like, drop what I was doing to go see Cookie Monster. Maybe Oscar. Probably Bert and Ernie. But, like, Big Bird, I'm like, I'm over it. Like, I don't need to be Big Bird.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm, like, looking... I can do all this stuff by going to the other theme parks in Florida. You know what I mean?
Hold on. I want to bring something up while we're talking about theme parks.
Okay.
Some people in my group chat were plotting a, like, early 2021 Disney World trip. And they all have, like, kids. And I'm just like, that sounds fucking awful. Like, I ain't fucking running around with kids. I'm not a rides person. I don't do rides. But someone's like, oh, you can drink there, though. And I was like, oh, you can? Sign me up. Let's go. Let's go right now.
You're like the weird drunk friend.
Yeah, like, let's go get fucking sauced and fucking go through, like, the Small Wonder ride. Not Small Wonder. It's a Small World. Let's get back. Let's reel ourselves back in. So we're at DUFF Gardens, having a grand old time. Not meeting Big Bird. We're meeting Surly and, like, Queasy and the other ones. And what happens? Take us through, Kat. Take us through the wild day at DUFF Gardens.
Let's be real. Selma has never had to deal with these two kids on her own before, and she thinks it's a fabulous idea to take them to DUFF GARDENS.
Yes, Selma does not realize that children are shitty things. They're horrible.
Yeah.
They're going to fight. They're going to tease each other. They're not going to listen to you.
She doesn't know how to deal with them, and it is quite obvious she is not an amusement park person.
No, she just wants to sit on the park bench all day.
Yeah, like she doesn't want to go on any rides. She doesn't want to see any of the shows or any of like the parades or whatever, you know?
They end up going on, it's like a ripoff of It's a Small World. Like it's called like Small Town Duff or something. I don't know the exact name.
It's like a Duff Around the World.
Duff Around the World. And it's just Little Land and Duff. I just looked it up. It up. So it's like a little like, it's just like It's a Small World where like you're going through water on this like boat that's on a track. They just keep singing the same song over and over again. You go through like different rooms, different parts of the world. Bart dares Lisa to drink the water, and Lisa doesn't want to do it. And Selma tells Bart to be quiet, and Lisa to just drink the water. So Lisa
which is the wrong answer.
Yeah. Lisa
right away.
Lisa doesn't like contest authority. She just, all right, an adult says I have to do this, I'm going to do it. So she just like puts her hand in. The water's like green. It's like not even, she's like, I don't even think this is water. Like, I don't know what this is. And she takes a sip out of it, immediately like starts hallucinating. Like she's like seeing double vision.
She must have had like some seriously fermented beer or something, like
poisonous beer, like toxic beer. I'm toxic. She's slipping under. Yeah. So like Selma turns into like a dragon. Monsters coming off her shoulder. They get off the ride and she sees the parade going by and she's like, oh my God, I can see the music. And she like takes off her clothes and just starts dancing in like a river nearby, like a nearby river. So that's going on. Bart pretends he's like tall, little lollipops like underneath his shoes, pretends he's like taller than he is. So he gets on this like weird like roller coaster that goes upside down and it gets stuck, so he's like dangling from it. The security have to like go and rescue him, and while they're rescuing Bart, Jimbo Jones and his gang take off on the bumper cars.
Mm-hmm.
So the Roman teens are back. The gang of Roman teens are back. Oh, I love it.
Roman gang.
Well, like they're at the security office. Lisa comes in naked, and she's like, "I am the Lizard Queen." And some guy just hands Summer a bunch of pills, and just have her take all these, and she'll be fine. And then he's like, well, thank you, doctor. And he's like, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it wasn't Dr. Nick. Anyway, we're now at home. We're back at the Simpson house. Lisa's like coming down from her high. Bart's in trouble. And Selma's just like, she's beaten down. She's just it's like she's been soaked with dirty water and has been wrung out. And she's just a lifeless corpse. She's like, I can't fucking deal with these kids anymore. So
yeah, she
tells the fam, like, you know what? I can live without children for now. And like we get a cut scene and it's like her sitting in her like, I don't know, in her bedroom. She has Jub Jub on her lap and she's singing I Am a Natural Woman, just like Murphy Brown did at the end of, I don't know, whatever season it was that she had her baby.
Oh yeah, totally.
You make me feel.
Yes.
You make me feel like a natural woman. A natural woman.
Oh my goodness.
So that's Selma's choice. Selma made the choice to not have kids. She's going to decide to stick with Jub Jub, the iguana who, as far as I know, is still alive on the Simpsons universe.
I mean, I think so. He's been there forever. We haven't heard from him.
He pops up here and there, though, I feel like.
Yeah, like he just like kind of pops up in the background.
Yeah, I think there's like an episode where Selma's walking Jub Jub on a leash. I feel like I've seen that before. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And I think the Selma toy came with a Jub Jub, like a mini Jub Jub with it.
Oh, really?
Can we talk about that fucking name, Jub Jub? That's like the wildest name I've ever fucking heard.
Conan O'Brien came up with it.
That is such like a Conan O'Brien name, too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the name Jub Jub was coined by then writer Conan O'Brien. He often said nonsensical things around the office for no apparent reason. One of them was Jub Jub. It stuck. So good for him. I love it. Big fan of Jub Jub.
Yeah.
All right. Did we leave anything out? I feel like we've...
Oh, Homer and Marge had sexy times while the kids were gone.
Oh, shit, yeah.
So Homer is so sick from this sandwich. He is, like, paler than the bed sheets. Like, he is white. This man is, like, sick. So, like, Marge goes to get videos, and she gets, like, Yentl... and, like, the erotic adventures of Hercules, and, like, something else.
She gets, the best of box and match weigh-ins, like a compilation tape.
Oh, yes.
And Yentl. And I think the joke was supposed to be that when she said those two movies, Homer obviously would say the box and weigh-in movies, but he goes, "Oh, what's Yentl about?"
Yeah, she kind of explains it. I'm sitting here like, yeah, that's what I know about Yentl. I've never actually watched it.
So they watch.
I probably will never watch it, but
So they watch Yentl, and I guess I don't know. For some reason, Homer starts feeling a little bit better, and Marge is like, "Oh, well, actually, I rented a third movie. I'm so glad you're feeling better because I thought we could watch this. The Erotic Adventures of Hercules with Troy McClure, and Troy McClure is Hercules.
yeah,
And they watch it, and they're like cuddling in bed naked. Like you see their like toes like rubbing against each other, and then like Homer just makes like a little like toga out of a sheet, and they're just like. We don't see it, but you know they've been going around the house the last like 4 hours, just fucking up a storm. Like they did it like every room in the house.
yeah, they are having some major sexy times. It's probably the first time they've had some sexy times in a while.
Yeah, Homer is calling himself Homercles. Marge has like a little like Greek twig in her hair. Like they were just up to some like crazy adventures.
Yeah,
and it's widely insinuated. And then like Selma comes home early. And Homer's like wearing the Greek toga still, and she's like, "I don't know how you do this, Homer," talking about like parenthood, and he's like, "It's easy. You just take a sheet, you just wrap it around your shoulder, and like pin it."
that's so Homer though. That's like so Homer. Like just be like, oh
I have a
yeah. Like if you think about it, Homer doesn't really like find the difficulty in parenthood most of the time.
No, he just kind of fumbling through it. It's like that's the greatness of Homer. Like he knows certain things and he doesn't know other things, and he just kind of like wings it. Like he'll let his daughter gamble for him. Like he don't care. Like it gets him money.
Yeah.
But whatever. You know what? I get to have daddy daughter time. I have a question though. I don't think this is addressed.
Yeah.
Where was Maggie during this whole ordeal?
She's probably like up in her crib.
Just stayed up in her crib all night. They just like put her to bed, like shut off the lights, close the door.
It's like, oh, it's nap time, Maggie. You got fed. Mama's gonna go take care of Daddy now. And maybe Daddy will take care of Mama.
I can just picture like they didn't close the door all the way and it was like open a crack, and Maggie just saw horrific things so that she'll like.
Oh, poor Maggie has probably witnessed so much terrible, awful things in her lifetime.
I mean, she's no innocent queen of innocence herself. She did shoot Mr. Burns.
True.
Yeah. And I think she's in like that weird like Sopranos themed episode too with the mob. Shoots at the mob in another episode. All right. We get everything? We squeeze everything in?
I think so. I think we got it all. I think so.
On a scale of 1 out of 5, 12-inch hoagies, how many 12-inch hoagies would you give this episode? I'm dying to know. Are we going to get, like, the infamous, like, I give a 1 or 2 to everything, or are we going to get the rare Cat 5? Because I feel like there's a rare Category 5 hurricane out there brewing in Cat's mind. Like, I just feel like there is. If there isn't, I'm going to be like, I'm going to, like, fate. I'm just going to roll over in fate if you say this is not a 5.
It is a 5. It's one of my favorite episodes of The Simpsons.
Yes!
It's like one of my absolute favorite episodes. You get Lisa going, I am the Lizard Queen. Like, come on. This episode's fantastic.
Oh, I give it a 5 also.
I've been dying for us to do this episode because it's one of my favorites.
Like, if I could go higher than a 5, I'd give this like a 5.5, but I can't. We can only go 5. But yeah, this was definitely a 5. This whole season I give a 5. Like, I don't think there's a bad episode this season of The Simpsons. Like, it starts off with Camp Krusty. It ends with Krusty gets canceled. Like, in the middle, we have this one. We have Mr. Plow. We have the monorail episode.
Yeah, like, this is, like, the season of The Simpsons. Like, if you're only going to watch one season of The Simpsons, you watch season 4.
Yes, this was the first year that I started tape recording The Simpsons so I could watch them over and over again. And I just remember there was a point where we're now, like, I don't know, like 13, 14, like, probably at this point, where I now had like a full videotape of Simpson episodes, and I could just watch it all day long. It would be like I'd come home from school, I could watch Simpsons for like 4 hours and still have like 4 more to go, and I would just watch the same episodes over and over again.
Yeah.
And this is like pre-syndication, so they weren't on every night.
Yeah.
So like you could only watch them when they were new.
So yeah.
Yeah. So great times. Great times. I loved it. Great pick, Kat. Kat picked this episode for episode 200 of the podcast. I wanted to do an episode involving a theme park. We almost did like a random TGIF, like Goes to Disney episode, but then there was a little light bulb over her forehead, a little light bulb hovering over her in a thought box, and we're like, let's do it. Let's just go to DUFF Gardens. We'll have a great time.
Yes, let's go to DUFF Gardens.
We'll get to talk about Big Bird Land or the fuck you were talking about earlier. all the things.
Oh my god, that's the thing. Like, if you think all over the country, there are random theme parks you have never heard of.
We have like, we have one like here, like Carowinds. It's like not too far from me. I have never heard of it. I've never been to it. I mean, I heard of it now, but like when I first moved here, I never heard of it. And like everyone's like, "You've never heard of Carowinds?" And I'm like, "No, like I didn't grow up around here. Like, why the fuck would I drive all the way to Carowinds when I can just go to fucking Six Flags, which is like 2 hours away from me, and probably had better rides?"
Yeah, like,
is Big Bird at Carowinds? No, fuck no. He's only at Busch Gardens for 2 weekends a year?
Apparently for 2 weekends this year.
So has it already happened or it's coming up?
Well, by the time this episode airs, we will have long been past it.
What is it, like Labor Day weekend? Like a hot Labor Day weekend?
Yeah, it was like this weekend.
Oh.
And like last weekend, so yeah.
So I'm guessing they're not filming Sesame Street this week. Sesame Street's taking the next 2 weeks off, so Big Bird can go do his appearances. Do you know what I want to see? Do you know what I would pay like $100 to see? You're at Busch Gardens. Big Bird did his meet and greet, and it's like 2 hours later, and he has to do like one more appearance, but it's like fucking hot as hell. So he like goes behind a building, he like takes his little like Big Bird head off, and he's like smoking a cigarette, but his like head's poking out of the Big Bird neck. How fucking wild would that be?
That would be wild.
How wild would that be?
What Wikipedia considers an amusement park is really fascinating. Because I looked up a list of amusement parks, and I'm looking at Colorado right now, and I'm like, those are ski resorts. Those aren't amusement parks.
I mean, I guess you can be amused while you're at them. Do they have anything?
I guess.
Do they have rides other than ski slopes? Like, can you do like a gondola ride or something?
I mean, okay, so like Purgatory has you can ride the chairlift in the summer to see like the views of the mountains, and they also have like an alpine slide.
Okay, yeah, all right. Maybe that's it.
But like that's it. That's like
maybe that's what officially classifies them as amusement park.
I guess so. Let's see what else. What do we have?
You guys don't have like Potland or anything like that?
No.
Hippie Central, Hippieville.
We do have the North Pole.
Oh yeah, didn't you work there? You were like the conductor on the Polar Express or something.
Oh yeah, I worked on the Polar Express. That was a totally different thing though.
Yeah, Kat was the you were the chef of the Polar Express.
Oh, it's Santa's Workshop.
I feel like any of those Christmas themed amusement parks are just they only work around Christmas time. Like, what do you do for the rest of the year?
Florida, of course, has like a whole mess of amusement parks. So does California.
Yeah, I remember like going to Florida when I was little, and then on like the non-Disney days, we would just go to these shitty, like, other amusement parks. Like, I remember we went to one that had, like, you basically, like, there's, like, a big, like, lake, but you, like, go underground in these windows, and you get to watch, like, mermaids swim by. And I used to think they were real mermaids.
You went to the mermaid show?
Hell yeah, I did.
Oh, I've only seen pictures of that.
It was the strangest thing.
Like, when I was a kid and we went to Florida, of course, we did Disney multiple days, and then, like, the days we didn't go to Disney was, like, one we went to SeaWorld.
Yeah.
And one we went to Universal. And I feel like the day we went to SeaWorld, it was, like, only a half day or something. And I remember it was, like, really weird. Like, I really wanted to go to SeaWorld, and my grandparents had never gone to SeaWorld in all their years living in Florida. I think they wanted to take us to the mermaid show instead.
Well, that's like a thing that went back to, like, the 60s or something, I think, so. Mm-hmm. Ooga. I'll have to look it up. Let's look it up. All right. Well, that's episode 200. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got to hear about our illustrious lives, especially as like middle school age kids. I'm excited for next week. Next week we're dipping back into the we're going underground, dipping up the coffin, and we're gonna unearth Halloween on your asses. We're going back to the booze. Yes, here comes the booze.
Here comes the booze, 2020.
And we got some exciting stuff for you. But you ready for what we're doing first? You want to drop it? You got the list, Kat? You actually got shit together?
I don't have the list. I haven't touched my planner. I'm sorry.
Next week, our new tradition. It's a new normal. It's a new normal for us. We're going back to the 99th precinct. We're going to do the third Halloween episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Nine-Nine?
So get ready for some fun, some pranks. Who knows? I don't remember which one this is, but we'll find out. And where can you follow our wild adventures, Kat Elstad, the author? Where can you follow our wild adventures?
You can follow us on Twitter at Very Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr at A Very Special Podcast. You can find us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you want to listen to podcasts. YouTube, you have found us somewhere, so click subscribe and keep listening to us. You can support us on Patreon if you're generous.
Yes. Be generous.
And willing, and yeah.
All right, and as always, girl, as always,
Bye!
watch the skies for Lance Murdoch jumping over 18 burning school buses. Ooga.